at that series.
Thank you very much, QuickShot. And joining us at the desk is Fnatic's Yellowstar after 2-0. And Yellowstar, when I ran into you guys in the makeup room before the game, Rekkles told me that, you know, the atmosphere was, of course, not ideal after that 0-4 last week. So how important is this win and the way you won these games?
I mean, after the 4 losses in a row, it's the first time that it happens to us. I think it was like a wake-up call. We were doing stuff wrong, and you know, it's like something that is an eye-opener, and it's better that it happens now, so we can improve, and you know, we don't do the same mistakes, and then we have better work ethics, and you know, we basically just improve better. So
could you maybe highlight some of the mistakes you guys were making before that now is different?
I think it was more of draft issues where everyone was more selfish, so he wants to play for his lane, then no one wants to concede anything because everyone wants to win everywhere. So, but it's not possible because it's a team game, so it's not going to be a well-rounded team. So basically, the enemy team will just group us 5, and then they will just destroy us. And yeah, we were basically like headless chickens that were running on the map, and it was really frustrating to see. So we had to make sure that it was not going to happen again.
Would you say that because you didn't feel confident in your draft is why we saw last week that in the early game these mistakes happened that were just very uncharacteristic for you guys and it set you so far behind? Is that all because of the draft or is that another set of issues?
Yeah, I mean, there was much more, many more issues than that, but overall there is nothing to blame. It's just on us. So we had to re-go through everything and make sure that we have solid basis and we don't go away from it.
So just to step away now from obviously the issues you guys had and the team thing, one thing I think a lot of viewers would like to know more about and a lot of people watching is the new support meta, 6.13, new support items have been buffed quite a bit, you know, to healing and shielding. Right now, do you feel like the support meta is it kind of locked in stone which champions are really good, or is this like tons of viable picks still and you're trying to figure it out?
There is much more stuff that you can play, but overall it's sustainable like support. It's not hard engaged like last year where you had like melee supports that was going in, open the fight, and then that's it. Now it's more like you have to stay back, leave, and then support your team.
All right. Well, we did see the British breakfast Ash Brown combination coming out.
Took it 2 hours, by the way, to figure that one out.
Hey, I just wanted to make it fun. But I wanted to ask about your experience playing versus the Vitality bottom lane. Of course, they also had a couple of issues this split, and Kasing was considered maybe the best support or one of the best supports with Mithy last split. I want to know your vision on their strength.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell, but Mithy and Kasing are obviously like really good players. They apply a lot of pressure, but it's it's a matchup of two guys, and I would say that they don't really feel comfortable playing together, I would say, because sometimes one is really aggressive and the other one is not following. So I have no idea, but I think that he's working much more better with Jarnan.
Well, I assume you and Rekkles obviously have the same synergy you guys had like a year ago when you played together, or is it different now?
I mean, I think it's better, even better. So, I mean, with time, we'll even have more room to grow.
What about then playing with Gamsu and Spirit? Because you're obviously one of the few players who had the pleasure of playing also with Huni Reignover before, and now you came back, and it's obviously Gamsu and Spirit up there. I know a lot of fans very often talk about the difference, like, you know, Huni was the big carry who would go 10-0, and Gamsu's not that kind of player. From your point of view, like, what's the big difference between these two pairings?
So last year, we came up with a totally new lineup, and people had no expectations from Fnatic, and then basically we went beyond the expectations. So they are comparing last year to this year, which is not something you can do because it's new players. Even if you replace one player, it can be like totally different, and they are not the same kind of player. So Gamsu is someone that is not really demanding, but he can play the two kinds of champs. He can play tanks or carry, but you know, last year Huni was really demanding, and he was basically like the carry of the team. So we had to adapt to him. Whereas this year we are more flexible. For example, last year in the bot lane we had to play like supportive champs, like this kind of stuff. And now this year we're able to open up, and I think this is better for the team. So we're not like one-dimensional.
not one-dimensional, and also Rekkles is our player of the game for this one. Some good plays coming out of him. Not only playing back with Rekkles, but maybe on a more lighthearted note. How are you enjoying being back in Europe? Of course, we know that you missed it here, so how has it been?
Thank you. I feel like really comfortable coming back, so I can like see you again.
Oh,
Yay!
woohoo,
That's
we win!
it.
And also, France is doing well. France is doing well in the Euro Cup football.
Yeah.
So that makes you happy.
Yeah.
You don't want to say it too loud in the studio, I guess.
Yeah, you know, I live in Germany. It's pretty dangerous for me.
Well, in any case, we're also going to check in on what happened on EULCS 2 as the Unicorns of Love, they took game 1. And then what happened in game 2?
Well, a lot of crazy stuff happened again. I feel like it was much like the first game, just tons of fighting and not what we call pretty League of
Oh, here,
Legends.
this though.
And then Pecker randomly steals the Baron with an Ash Arrow. It was on 26 HP and he just steals it. And obviously it bought a bit of time. You can see all the inhibs are still down. So it was just a matter of time, honestly, before Unicorns pushed in. But this was the kind of game where Origin had to win in order for us to see this Origin lineup of last split, you know, make it into playoffs, to have all these championship points. Watching them perform this poorly again, and also Unicorns, you know, playing honestly pretty well, really disappointing. And I mean, obviously Yellowstar, you know all the Origin guys. I mean, when you're watching this kind of performance and this drop this team has made because of the roster changes as well, like what do you think?
It's heartbreaking because I know them like personally, and then when we're struggling, I know how it is like, and knowing all these guys, you know, we used to play 2 years together, so I don't like seeing people struggling anywhere. So I wish the best for them.
Yeah, we will see what happens. But you guys are 2-0 on the day. You can celebrate Griezmann style. No? Okay. In any case, coming up, bottom place, Roccat have a fight on their hands in their series against the formidable Splice. Before we return for a look at the match, Trashy tells us how Airwax is an all-or-nothing threat in the jungle.
I think Airwax specifically is doing a lot of silly mistakes. It feels like maybe his emotions take over a bit. So he has these moments, also when we played against him, he has these moments where he's kind of throwing the game by himself. But also sometimes those moments pay off and he's like, looks like a god and do some crazy plays. But he's very inconsistent this split, and I think when we face them, if he's gonna play inconsistent, we can take advantage of it.